guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna try and be less awkward this time. So I tried turning off a couple of my lights and it seems to actually be giving me better lighting. And I'm also filming with my phone instead of my camera right now because I realized my iPhone has a better quality camera than my camera does. So anyway, today we're gonna see how this goes. But I'm gonna try and recreate this look by Samantha Ravndahl. Yeah. I know it's not focusing. There we go. Yeah, it's like a stunning rainbow skull look. I have no idea how this is gonna go. I haven't planned it out. We're just winging it today, so let's jump right into it.
So first I'm taking my Fenty Beauty Instant Retouch Profilt'r primer. I'm just taking a couple squirts of that and putting it all over my face and down my neck as usual. Next, I'm going in with the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation in the shade Nude, and I'm taking 2.5 pumps of that and dotting it all over my face so it doesn't get soaked up by my sponge when I'm applying it. Speaking of sponges, next I'm going to take my Sephora Collection beauty sponge. It's really nice and squishy and bouncy, and I'm just blending out all of that foundation. Down your neck as well, don't forget that. Next, I'm taking the Too Faced Born This Way Multi Sculpting Concealer in the shade Nude as well, and applying that to the areas where I need more coverage or I want to highlight my face. So under the eyes, down the bridge of my nose, the tip of my nose, Cupid's bow, a little bit on my chin, forehead, and just under my brow bone as well. Then I'm blending that out with the same sponge, and yeah, just try and keep the product concentrated where you applied it. Next, I'm taking my Fenty Beauty Instant Retouch Profilt'r setting powder in the shade Butter. And I'm taking a Morphe contour and highlight sponge and I'm just pressing that in there. And then I'm going to bake my under eyes in case my eyeshadow look has any fallout. And it also just brightens your under eyes. Next, I'm taking the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in the original formula, and I'm putting that all over my eyelids and onto my brows as well, and blending that out with my finger because I'm going to be doing a bright eye look. Next, I'm taking the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade Milk, and I'm going to block out my brows because I want them to be really pigmented when I put the shadow on top, but I'm not trying to glue them down because I don't need a whole new brow bone. It's not a drag look, it's just a colorful look. Next, I'm taking a Morphe eyebrow brush, and I'm going to dip into the shade Jada from the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill palette. Yeah, and I'm just going to put that on the way I would apply my dip brow. So lining the underside of my brow and then the top, and then filling it in. Yeah, I had to dip back into the product many times because you want it to be nice and pigmented, and obviously you don't want to get too much of the white on the brush. You know what I'm saying. Next, I'm taking a fluffy Morphe blending brush. It doesn't matter what blending brush you use. And I'm dipping into the shade Skip by James Charles, or in his Morphe palette. And I'm putting that into the crease of my eye. Just blending that out, go in with a light hand and go back in as needed. You don't want to overdo yourself. You can always add more, but you can't really take away product, or it's at least a lot harder. Next, I'm going into the shade Love That, again from the same palette, and I'm applying that basically where I applied Skip, but I'm not blending it out as high. I'm just trying to intensify the crease a little bit without actually adding a really dark shade. Next, I'm taking my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade Milk, and I'm just setting that down on the lid. I just want to put blue down next, and I want it to come out pigmented and not blend too much with the pink. So I'm going into the shade Playground from the James Charles palette, again with a fluffy brush, and I'm just applying that to the outer part of my eyelid, kind of into the corner, but not blending it too much into the crease. Then I'm taking a random eyeshadow brush and I'm dipping into the shade Hello, and I'm just applying that on the inner 2/3 of my eyelid. Next, I'm going into my Urban Decay Electric palette, and I'm going into the bright green shade. I don't have the palette on me. I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, it's the lime green shade. You know what it is. It's the yellowy lime green shade, not the just bright green shade. And I'm applying that to the inner corner. Next, I'm taking my NYX Epic Ink Liner. I started using this instead of Kat Von D's, and I really like it so far. And I'm just lining my eyes the way I normally do. So I do the outer line from the outer corner of my eye up to my eyebrows, and then I drag it inwards and then fill it in. And I'm just dusting off my setting powder, dusting off the bake. Next, I'm going into the James Charles palette and back into the shade Skip. And I'm using a little, I don't know what kind of brush that is. Anyway, you want to do your eye with it. Lower lash line, that's the word. Yeah, you get me. And I took a little bit of Playground and a little bit of Hello and did my lower lash line. I didn't show you guys that, but going back with the NYX liquid liner, I'm going to outline the brows like cartoon brows. So just the underline, the upper line, and then drawing a few kind of hairs on the inside for that cartoon look. I'm just imitating what Samantha did in her look. It's nothing revolutionary, but I think it really pulls the makeup together. Then I'm going in with a NYX pencil liner, and I'm just doing the outer third of my lower lash line.
The side of my eyes off camera, but I just want to check in to say that I feel like this is awesome. Like the whole colored brow thing, and they match my the ends of my hair. Like, I think I'm gonna try this more often. Anyway, I'm gonna finish my eye makeup and put lashes on, and then I'll come back. Alright, so my lashes are on and both eyes are done. Now we're going to move on to probably the more challenging part of this makeup look. It's doing the whole mouth area. I haven't done a skull look in a long time, and I've definitely never done one that was actually full. So, good luck, Megan.
So I'm just taking the shade Skip on a little Morphe contour brush, and I'm applying that with a light hand first because, again, you can add more product, but you can't really take away much. But I'm going to carve out under the cheekbone and then drag it down into a more masculine shape contour, I guess. It helps to look at a reference photo, either of a skull or of exactly the look that you want to do. So I'm looking back at Samantha Ravndahl's each time. Also, please excuse the lash glue on my eyeliner. I haven't done this very often. I'm not good at applying fake lashes. Anyway, then I dip back into Playground, and I'm trying to carve out where I want to put my rainbow teeth. So I'm just doing like a little line and then blending it out a bit. So I'm doing 2 of those with the shade Playground. Next, I'm going to go in with my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk again, and I'm going to block out my lips. In retrospect, it would have been better to do this with a white concealer, or even just a concealer that's actually my skin shade, or a face paint, but I used what I thought was best at the time. I wouldn't recommend this. I'd probably cover your lips with foundation or a regular concealer. Anyway, this is what I did. Next, I am taking the shade Social Blade from the James Charles palette, and I'm doing the same kind of line teeth things. I'm just using fluffy blending brushes from Morphe again, but you can really use any brush that's small enough. Next, I'm taking B, and I'm doing the same thing. Surprise, surprise. Then I'm going to take the shade 518, 518, whatever, and I'm doing the exact same thing. you want the shades to be kind of separated, so please make sure you do that. Next, I didn't show you, but I mixed 518 and Rusted to do the next line. And then for this one, I'm mixing You're Kidding and Rusted, so the bright red shade and the burnt orange shade, just for the last couple of mouth marks, whatever you want to call it. And then just Rusted for the very last one. I decided to do a bit more of a gradient after instead of having like two of the same color side by side. All right, so next I'm taking a pencil liner, the same one I used for my eyes. In retrospect, it would have been so much better to do this with even a liquid liner, even though it's hard, or with a body paint, but I did what I did. I'll recreate this sometime. But I'm just carving out like the hollowed jaw kind of look. I use Samantha Ravndahl's as a reference, but you can just use a photo of a skeleton to try and do this. Next, I'm taking an eyeshadow brush and I'm just trying to blend it out. As you can tell, it didn't work, so I dipped into the black shade from the James Charles palette. That is Spooky, and I'm just filling it in, and I'm trying to keep it a bit gradiated so that it's more full on the bottoms there than on the tops, but I don't know what I'm doing. Just bear with me. Next, I'm going back in with the pencil liner and I am separating where my teeth are going to be, and then I'm drawing where I want the teeth to be. So they should match up with each of the lines that you did in color. The teeth weren't very good on this, but in the end, it looked cool anyway. Like, I tried something. But yeah. Again, I would suggest using a liquid liner, a gel liner with a sharp brush would probably be good. Or if you have face paint or body paint, that's a great idea. I have some coming in, but it's not here yet. Then I'm taking a white pencil liner, again by NYX, and filling in the teeth. Again, liquid would be so much better. So if you have concealer and a sharp brush, like a white concealer, like I just got the Kat Von D one, or face paint, body paint, or liquid liner even. Anyway, then I'm going back with a pencil brush and I'm going back into Spooky, and I'm just trying to deepen up the teeth and make sure there's a little more separation. I'm also taking that onto the top of my lower lip just to separate the teeth down the center of my mouth as well. Then I'm going into the white shade in the James Charles palette. That's Flashback, and I'm trying to brighten up the shadows. The white in this palette isn't very popping, so it doesn't do very much, but again, we're trying. So, to make things pop, I decided to spray some of my mini MAC Fix Plus onto a random eyeshadow brush that came with a Naked palette from when I was like really young. And I'm dipping into that silvery shade from the Urban Decay Electric palette just to make things pop a little bit.
Now something Samantha didn't do in her video was her collarbones or anything. I think I'm gonna do it because I think it will give a little extra something something to this look. So I'm gonna take the same brush I did my contour / cheeks with.
And I'm just dipping into a whole bunch of the shadows that I used on my face. So this is Skip and Love That for the most part. I used a little bit of Escape, the purple shade. But yeah, for the most part, if you lean your shoulders forward, it helps you see where the shadows and the hollows of your bones are, and it really helps for the application. You can also use a reference photo again. Next, I'm taking that same pencil liner and I'm outlining my collarbones. Again, would have been better with basically any other liquid product, but here we are. And again, if you tilt your shoulders forward, it helps a lot. Personally, I wish I hadn't done the very last lines I'm about to do. Those ones, yeah, don't like them. But whatever. Then I'm taking the Moonchild palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's the rainbow highlighting palette, and I'm using a whole bunch of these shades. I didn't show you every single one, but I'm putting the blue on my collarbones, and then I think I put like pink on my shoulders, pink on my cheekbones, pink underneath my brows and on my nose, and then I use a little bit of the greenish one to really amp up the inner corners of my eyes. Yep. Next, I'm outlining the nose with a pencil liner. This it actually worked okay for. So I'm just sketching the outline of where I want my nose hollow to be. And then I'm taking that same black shadow from the James Charles palette and filling it in. I also go outside of where my outline was because I decided I wanted it to be a little bit messier and I wanted it to cover more of my nose. So I take that all the way down the tip of my nose so that my nostrils kind of blend in with the look when you're looking from far away. And then I'm checking myself out because who doesn't do that after they're done? Awkward.
Alright guys, so this is the finished look. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Also let me know what you think of this lighting and this camera. Is it better? Is it worse? Should I keep trying new things without buying new things? Yeah, let me know if you liked it. Thanks so much.